Welcome back, students. Today we are going to start our new concept from part 4 of vector series, and that is position vector and displacement vector. So before going into technical stuff, we should know what does it mean by position. If I ask you what is your position current, then definitely you will tell me your location. Any object or any body does not possess its own position. Actually, it is the location where it is. For example, right now I am standing here in front of you. If you ask me what is your position, then I will tell you address of this location. Okay, this is a particular general thing. Okay, in a physics, if you want to tell position of any object, then you have to tell what is the position vector of that object or that point. For example, let's take a two-dimensional structure. That means Cartesian plane xy. Okay, so this is our Cartesian plane x and y. Let's say we have a point or object at a P whose coordinates are x1, y1. So you know that x1 means the distance of a point P from origin on x-axis. Similarly, y1 means distance of point P from the origin O along y-axis. Okay, so this is y distance and this is x distance. So now if you want to tell the position of point P or position of object P in a coordinate system, you have to use position vector r bar, which is indicated by r bar. So this is the position vector. This is the position vector r bar of point P. And one thing, always mind it, that position vector is always measured from origin of Cartesian plane. That means position vector always started from origin of Cartesian plane and end on that object or that point. Okay, so that r bar is the position vector of object or point P. Okay, now how to represent this r bar or position vector in a mathematical language? Look, mathematics is the language of physics. If you want to be superior in physics, then you should know maths very well. Okay, so in a mathematical language, we represent a position vector as r bar is equal to x1 I cap plus y1 j cap. As I have took these coordinates as x1 and y1, that's why r bar means position vector will be equal to x1 I cap plus y1 j cap. So why I took I cap or j cap? So you know that in previous part we have covered this concept of unit vector. Unit vector is a basically vector who signifies the orientation of vector, or it will give you a direction of that particular vector. That means it will provide you direction in which that vector is going on. That's why on x-axis we have x1 coordinate. That means x1 distance has been covered on x-axis in a x direction. That's why we took I cap, because I cap is the unit vector in the x direction. Similarly, y1 is the distance covered on y-axis. That's why unit vector along y-axis is j cap. That's why x1 I cap plus y1 j cap. Okay, so this is the position vector for two-dimensional plane. So how to find magnitude of position vector? So that we have r bar is equal to x1 square plus y1 square, x component square plus y component square, or distance on x-axis square plus distance on y-axis. Sometimes in some books they have represented this as a ax square plus ay square. This is also same thing, that is a distance on x-axis, distance on y-axis. Generally most of the time we use this concept, x1 square plus y1 square. This is for two-dimensional. So if any object is moving in a free space or a three-dimensional space, then we represent position vector r bar as, this is our magnitude, so we use here mod. R bar is equal to, let's say on a z axis also it covers distance of z1, so that x1 I cap plus y1 j cap plus z1 k cap. So I cap, j cap and k cap. K cap is the unit vector along z axis. magnitude of this three-dimensional vector, which is position vector, is given as x1 square plus y1 square plus z1 square. Okay, this is a two-dimensional position vector, this is three-dimensional position vector, this is magnitude of two-dimensional position vector, and similarly magnitude of three-dimensional position vector. Okay, now one very important necessary point is that just note down it. After that I will tell you next point. Okay, so now we are going to check if we change Cartesian plane, then what will happen, if position vector will changes or not. So this is our original Cartesian plane xy, and we have point P or object P at coordinates x1 comma y1. Let's say we have new Cartesian plane here, which is x dash and y dash, and this is the origin. Okay, this is the origin. So now tell me, what will be the new position vector? So new position vector will be this one. Let's say previous position vector was r1 bar, and new position vector will be r2 bar. This will not be equal to r1 bar, because you can get that magnitude is a changes here, because always we measure position vector with respect to origin. So that here r1 bar was having magnitude this much, but now new position vector have magnitude this much. That's why r1 bar, r2 bar. That means even not changing object or point P, not changing his position, if we change Cartesian plane, then definitely our position vector will changes, because vector have magnitude as well as direction. So in between magnitude or direction or both aspects we changes, or any one of the aspect we changes, definitely vector get changes. That's why here r1 bar was a new initial position vector, and when we change Cartesian plane, new vector becomes r2 bar. That means our position vector depends on Cartesian plane. Okay, note it down. Okay, I hope you get the idea of position vector. Now let's go to the next point, that is displacement vector. So tell me, what is displacement? So displacement is nothing but change in position. If you are change any position, displacement happen. Even though if your starting and final position is the same, then at that time we say that displacement is 0. And if starting point and final point is not same, then we have some displacement. That means displacement is nothing but change in position. Similarly, if we change position vector, then it will be called as a displacement vector. Let's say we have this Cartesian plane x and y. Initially our point P or object P was here at coordinate x1 y1. So this was our initial position vector r1 bar. Now let's say this object P moves and come to the point x2 comma y2 coordinates. This is our point P after some movement. So new position vector will be r2 bar, definitely, because I have told you that if you don't change a point and if you change Cartesian plane, position vector will change. Similarly, if you don't change Cartesian plane but change the position vector, then new position vector will not equal to initial, it will change also, because coordinates get changes. So displacement is nothing but this value. So del r bar is the displacement vector. So just tell me, what will be the value of r1 bar? We know that r1 bar is equal to x1 I cap plus y1 j cap. Am I right? Okay. Now r2 bar will be, which is position vector of final position, is x2 I cap plus y2 j cap. Okay. So we have to find displacement vector del r bar. So just tell me how we find a displacement. Displacement is nothing but final position minus initial position. Okay, final position minus initial position. So final position minus initial position. but as we taking into account position vector, it will be final position vector minus initial position vector, that is equal to r2 bar minus r1 bar. So r2 bar x2 I cap plus y2 j cap, this is r2 minus r1 bar x1 r1 bar minus x1 I cap plus y1 j cap. Okay, now we can take I cap common. So I cap common x2 minus x1 plus j cap common, here j cap common, y2 minus y1. Okay, so that is equal to x2 minus x1 I cap plus y2 minus y1 j cap is nothing but two-dimensional displacement vector. Did you get it? Okay, note down. So we know that two-dimensional position displacement vector is given as x2 minus x1 plus y2 minus y1 I cap j cap. How to find its magnitude? So we have the formula for it, that is square root x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. This is for two-dimensional structure. If we have free space in which in three-dimensional space our object is moving, at that time we give displacement vector as x2 minus x1 I cap plus y2 minus y1 j cap plus z2 minus z1 k cap. Okay, in three-dimensional structure, and its magnitude is given by square root x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square plus z2 minus z1 whole square. Okay, these are the formulas for the displacement vector in two-dimensional as well as three-dimensional. This is for vector, this is for its magnitude, similarly vector and its magnitude. Okay, this is displacement vector. Okay, in last part I have given you one question, that was if a bar is 0.3 I cap plus 0.4 j cap plus c k cap, calculate the value of c. If a bar is unit vector. So if a bar is unit vector, then its magnitude should be equal to 1. Am I right? Okay. So how to find the magnitude of three-dimensional vector? We know that square root 0.3 square x coordinate plus y coordinate 0.4 square plus z coordinate c square, that should be equal to 1. Let's take square of both the sides. Therefore 0.3 square plus 0.4 square plus c square will be square of 1. Therefore 0.3 square 0.09, 0.4 square 0.16 plus c square is equal to 1. Okay, come here. So 0.09 plus 0.16 will be 0.25 plus c square is equal to 1. So c square is equal to 1 minus 0.25, that is equal to 0.75. Therefore c will be equal to square root of 0.75, which is nearly equal to 0.87. So that answer was 0.87. Okay, note it down. Okay, so now today's quiz. Find the unit vector. Find the unit vector of 2 I cap plus 4 j cap plus 6 k cap. So the question is, find the unit vector of 2 I cap plus 4 j cap plus 6 k cap. So you know that unit vector concept, vector to its magnitude. So find the answer and tell me next video. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you are not subscribed our channel, please do subscribe so that we can always remain connected with you, and you will get notification of all our upcoming videos. Thank you so much. Be safe. Take care.